Oh shit! Miscellany reaction part 4, and it starts off with Kazuha, fucking the legit Rownin, the real Rownin of Genshin. Okay, I'm excited for this one, simply because he's a Rownin. So let's get into it.
No one is sure when they first noticed it, but once in a while, from the deck of the Alcor, flagship of the heavily armed Crux fleet, the soft sound of a flute can be heard. Following the ocean breeze to wherever it may lead, trace the sound back to its source, and you will see a young samurai of Inazuma calmly sitting in a crow's nest, playing a leaf flute while taking in the sights and sounds of the natural world.
This motherfucker plays a leaf. He just gets cooler and cooler.
But ask the other sailors about his story, and you'll find they know little more than you. All they can tell you is, he is a trainee sailor from Inazuma. His name is Kaidahara Kazuha.
Come driving rain or winds that churn.
Kazuha. I was always saying Kazuha. Kazuha.
I shall return by blade alone, armed, if barefoot, to my home.
Many look at Kaidahara Kazuha and see but a young face. What they miss is a swift and deadly samurai wanderer who is not to be taken lightly. Kaidahara Kazuha has the ability to manipulate anemo and provides an elemental damage bonus for members of his party.
Oh shit,
Also,
really?
with his elemental skill, he can make frequent use of special plunging attacks that keep enemies grouped together, providing great support to his party.
Wait, what?
Like a leaf
Let me
on
see
the
that again.
breeze,
What does he do?
providing great plunging attacks that keep enemies bonus for members
One more
of
time,
his
one more
party.
time.
Also, with his elemental skill, he can make frequent use of special plunging attacks that keep enemies grouped together, providing great support to
How does that work though? He has to play that off of somebody else's elemental skill?
his party. Like a leaf on the breeze, he is light as a feather and swift as a blade. When Kaidahara Kazuha is in your party, he reduces sprinting stamina consumption for your party members,
I
making
like that.
exploration faster. Kazuha's normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes that deal physical
Ooh,
damage to
okay.
enemies.
That last one's pretty cool.
Hold the attack button to consume a set amount of stamina,
Ah, the
and
sheath.
perform 2 swift slashes to his front.
The fucking... Ah, it's just cold, you know what I mean? Like,
Dealing high
you know what I mean? It's fucking cold.
physical damage. While Kazuha is airborne, pressing the attack button causes him to perform a plunging attack, damaging opponents along the path and dealing AoE damage upon impact. Tap his elemental skill, Chihayaburu, to unleash a secret blade technique, pulling enemies and objects toward him, launching enemies within his range, and dealing anemo damage.
That's okay.
Kazuha uses the gust of wind generated in this moment to soar up into the air. For a short period after using Chihayaburu, while Kazuha remains airborne, he can unleash a powerful plunging attack, Midare Ranzan. The
Sounds
damage
cool.
dealt by this plunging attack is converted to anemo damage.
Nice.
When Kazuha lands, he uses another secret blade technique to create a wind tunnel that pulls in nearby enemies and objects. With this effect, Kazuha can concentrate enemies in one place, allowing other party members to attack more efficiently. Chihayaburu is a skill that can be used
That's
while
so
airborne,
cool.
giving Kazuha great agility when out exploring.
Yes, I love
When
that.
Chihayaburu is held instead of tapped, Kazuha
Guys, I might be totally biased to this character. I just, fuck, he's cool, you know what I mean?
deals increased anemo damage over a wider area. After unlocking the talent Somon Swordsmanship, Kazuha's elemental skill can absorb Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro when cast. If a Midare Ranzan plunging attack is performed before Chihayaburu's effects expire,
I see.
it deals additional elemental damage of the absorbed element. Only one elemental absorption can occur per Chihayaburu.
Clouds hide. The birds call.
Kaidehara Kazuha's elemental burst is the pinnacle achievement of his self-taught blade work. He strikes with the force of the first winds of autumn, dealing AoE anemo damage. This attack produces a field called Autumn Whirlwind. The field periodically deals anemo damage to enemies within it. If Autumn Whirlwind comes into contact with Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro, it will absorb that element and deal additional elemental damage.
Sick.
This elemental absorption may only occur once in its duration. Kazuha
So I can understand how, I mean, that makes him so versatile. That makes him so fucking cool, man. Like, he could be in so many comps because of that. Right? In a way, it makes it so you don't necessarily need a pyro person in your party because he can, like... Am I making sense? Probably not. Let's keep going.
can use the Autumn Whirlwind field to easily affect multiple enemies with an element, creating ideal opportunities for his allies.
You see what I'm saying? He did that next to a fucking fire, right? Just, you know, cooking some stew. You know what I'm saying? Oh, cooking that stew, my advantage.
Enemies with an element, creating ideal opportunities for his allies to attack.
Sick as fuck.
The wind blows to all within its vast reach and knows the coming fall from the first withered leaf. For a set duration after Kazuha triggers a swirl reaction, all party members receive a damage bonus for the corresponding element.
Yes.
The bonus scales off of Kazuha's elemental mastery.
Okay.
If multiple elemental damage bonuses are gained in this manner, they are applied concurrently.
Yes.
Kaidehara Kazuha has roamed far and wide and is acutely sensitive to changes in the natural environment. When the way ahead is rocky, his mastery of Anemo allows him to swiftly turn the tide of the battle, guiding the whole party to victory. In combat, he coordinates closely with his teammates to apply elements to enemies. Then, he uses his elemental skill to gain control over the opponents, following up here and there with powerful plunging attacks to keep them where he wants them, while also activating Poetics of Fubutsu, which provides elemental damage bonuses, enhancing the whole party's attack capabilities. When energy is full, Kaidehara Kazuha unleashes his elemental burst, generating an autumn whirlwind field. The field creates the perfect conditions for elemental reactions, turning your party into a force to be reckoned with.
Fuck yeah.
Kaidehara Kazuha is no aimless wanderer. He has a deep sense of purpose. The young samurai left his homeland behind not to part with the past, but in the search for a new hope. As he navigates his path, he charts a course through the myriad of storms that come his way. His exposure to the elements keeps him in touch with nature and connects him with other people who cross his path. Those who choose to defy the gods are destined for hardship, but even a maple leaf blowing in the breeze, if it falls into the right company, can learn to sail the storm winds of the sea to shores beyond the horizon.
Yo. Fuck, I think I found my main. God, he's so fucking cool, man. Okay. Another thought popped into mind. Zhao is also Anemo, so... like two of the coolest fucking characters, in my opinion, are the same element, which is shitty because now I feel like I have to pick between one based on element. Oh man, Zhao's so fucking cool too. I'm conflicted. Okay, well, Kazuha is a badass. Okay, next up is Kamisato. I think she's kind of a badass too.
In Inazuma City, the Shirasagi Himegimi is a name known to all. Those fortunate enough to meet Kamisato.
What is it? The Himegimi? Hey, Himegimi.
Those fortunate enough to meet Kamisato Ayaka in person describe her as the princess of the Kamisato clan. Graceful and dignified as a snow crane, but kind and gentle like a dove. She brings joy and hope to everyone she meets. The other half of perfection is, of course, martial prowess. So when Kamisato Ayaka draws her blade and assumes a fighting stance, her opponent should beware.
Kamisato Ayaka, present.
Okay.
A master of the Inazuman Kamisato art of Tachijutsu, Kamisato Ayaka has honed her blade work to the pinnacle of proficiency. She combines swift and agile strikes with the power of cryo to fight back against those of malicious intent. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission's Kamisato clan, Ayaka is versed in a variety of art forms. Her expertise in the art of the sword includes knowledge of advanced weaponry.
Does she hold it backwards like that on a regular basis? That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that.
When Ayaka crafts weapon ascension materials, she has a certain chance to receive double the product.
Okay. Another one of
Ayaka's
those.
normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes that deal physical damage to enemies.
Yeah, the quick. That's cool.
Holding the attack button consumes a set amount of stamina to perform the EI.
Wait, what? She does the TikTok trend? She does the TikTok trend where she cuts all the apples in half, but you don't see the blade.
Holding
You know what I mean?
the attack button
Hey.
consumes a set amount of stamina to perform the EI technique,
I got way too excited for that.
unleashing a series of blade winds that deal physical
That's
damage
cool,
to
though.
enemies.
That's fucking cool.
When Ayaka sprints, she cloaks herself in frozen fog, consuming stamina to move as a rapid torrent.
What? She does the Mona thing. That's
In her
fucking
Senho
cool.
state, Ayaka can travel swiftly over water. When she leaves Senho state and reappears, she applies the cryo element to nearby enemies.
Yes. Dude, she's the cryo version of Mona. That's fucking sweet, because Mona's playstyle is super smooth.
Also, she will receive a cryo infusion for a short duration. The cryo infusion converts Kamisato Ayaka's attack damage to cryo damage.
Yes.
After unlocking the talent Kanten Senmyo Blessing, if the cryo energy released when exiting Kamisato Art Senho comes into contact with an enemy, Ayaka will regain some stamina.
Okay.
Additionally, she will gain a temporary cryo damage bonus. Proficient use of these skills allows Kamisato Ayaka to move freely around the battlefield, putting her in the strongest possible position. A flick of the wrist with the poise of a dancer, and frost goes flying. Tapping Ayaka's elemental skill summons blooming ice, launching adjacent enemies and dealing AoE cryo damage. After unlocking the talent Amatsumi Kunitsumi Sanctification for a short duration after casting Kamisato Art Hyoka, Kamisato Ayaka's normal and charged attacks deal increased damage.
Okay.
Kamisato Art, Sumetsu!
Kamisato Ayaka summons the frost with flawless poise, releasing a Frostflake Seki no To that travels forward. The
Damn.
Frostflake Seki no To is
That lasts a long time.
the storm of whirling icy winds that slashes repeatedly at enemies, dealing cryo damage and blooming at the end of its duration, dealing a further bout of AoE cryo damage. Even in the heat of battle, Kamisato Ayaka is the picture of elegance. Her own bladework philosophy adds finesse to Kamisato Art's Tachijutsu. With the choreography of a crane in the snow, she defeats her foes in a dance of frost. When the battle begins, Ayaka enters her Senho state, then swiftly draws near to her enemies to launch her attack. The versatile range of cryo abilities at her disposal creates opportunities to coordinate with her teammates. She gains
Oh,
control
so
over her
fucking
enemies, then alternates between normal and charged attacks to take them down one by one. When energy is full, Kamisato Ayaka unleashes her elemental burst to deal further damage and clean up the field. When Inazuma locals discuss the Yashiro Commission, they are full of praise for Kamisato Ayaka's cordial manner and sincerity of speech at social gatherings. When the name Shirasagi Himegimi is uttered, it is
Himegimi.
done so in tribute to her flawless etiquette and impeccable character. But what can anyone know of how Ayaka views herself in her innermost being? As the princess of the Yashiro Commission's Kamisato clan, Ayaka shoulders her family's duty to cherish the aspirations of ordinary people. But she also has dreams of her own that she holds dear. Perhaps the thing that she really needs is a companion on her journey, with whom to share a pot of tea and to play a game of Go. And with whom to stand shoulder to shoulder when it comes time to draw her blade.
Okay. She's pretty fucking cool, too. They gotta stop. You know, I need a character to come in that I don't like. Because I feel like I'm just turning into one of those guys who likes them all. Okay, quick recap. I don't really like Albedo that much, actually. And I know everybody tells me he's really good. Don't like him, don't like Chi-Chi. I'm not a big fan of Klee. I mean, Klee's cool. She's the coolest of the kids. I'm not a... fuck. I'm just turning into one of these guys who likes them all. Yoimiya. I don't think I like her. I feel better now.
If you ever make
Let's
it to
see.
Inazuma and ask the locals what to see while you're there, nearly everyone you talk to will emphatically recommend a fireworks display. Like shooting stars in reverse, they fly up into the night, then burst into color, illuminating the sky and sea and the faces of those watching below. This short but dazzling spectacle is all the work of one woman, Inazuma's.
You know, it's... fucking developers, man. They're like, let's make a character that uses bandages for underwear. And let's make her boobs jiggle tremendously when she fires an arrow. Look at this.
Is all the work of one woman,
Blah, blah, blah,
Inazuma's
blah.
most skilled fireworks expert, Yoimiya.
Oh my god, you see that?
Let me give this shooting fireworks straight into the skies with a boat business a shot.
I've gone on a couple rants about the developers knowing what they're doing. Okay? This is how they get the male demographic.
In Yoimiya's capable hands, her spectacular fireworks are not just the grand finale of a festival. They also make highly potent weapons for protecting her friends and fighting her foes.
Sorry, I had the little one knocking on the door. Let's continue.
And no one has a flair for fighting with fireworks quite like her.
You know what? I gotta be honest. I just did her story quest in Inazuma and I trialed her. I like how her elemental skill essentially just makes her regular attacks pyro. I didn't get to use her elemental burst, so. But ultimately, her succession of normal or physical attacks, whatever you want to call it, they look cool. They feel cool. She does like a spinny thing in the middle. You know, that's pretty cool. But, you know, ultimately, this lady wears bandages as underwear, so.
Yoimiya's handiwork is exquisite, and she dabbles in many other crafts besides firework making, always adding her unique touch to all her work. When Yoimiya crafts decorations, ornaments, and landscape furnishings, a portion of the materials used will be refunded.
To me, that's virtually fucking useless. Okay? I don't really use the pot at all. I'm not one of those players who's like, meh, how's my little world how's my pot world doing? That doesn't sound how I meant it. You guys know what I'm saying, okay? I'm not like, oh, I gotta add this tree over here.
Her normal attack can combo up to 5 consecutive shots, dealing physical damage.
Yeah, the backflip spin, that's cool.
Holding
That's
the
cool.
attack button executes a more precise aimed shot that deals increased damage. Based
Wait,
on
what?
the charge time, the aimed shot generates different effects.
I didn't do that when I playtested her. Shit.
Level 1 fires off a flaming arrow that deals pyro damage.
Okay.
At charge level 2, depending on the exact charging time, the aimed shot generates up to 3 kindling arrows when she releases it.
Oh,
arrows home in.
shit, that's fucking cool. They home in too? Oh, man. God damn it. I needed a character that I didn't like.
On nearby enemies, dealing pyro damage.
I mean,
Tap Yoimiya's elemental skill, and she
it's
waves
fucking
a sparkler,
cool.
causing a ring of saltpeter to surround her and sending her into the Niwabi Ensho state. During this time, arrows fired by Yoimiya's normal attack will be blazing arrows, increasing their damage and converting the attacks to pyro damage. However, during Niwabi Ensho, Yoimiya's normal attack, Firework Flare-Up, will not generate kindling arrows at charge level 2. After unlocking the talent Tricks of the Troublemaker, during Yoimiya's elemental skill duration, when her normal attack hits an enemy, she gains a stackable pyro damage bonus, which lasts for 3 seconds.
Okay.
Here come the fireworks!
Yoimiya leaps into the air, together with her original creation, Ryukin Saxifrage, firing forth blazing rockets bursting with surprises that deal AoE pyro damage, and mark one of the hit enemies with Aurous Blaze.
Okay.
All attacks by any party member other than Yoimiya that hit an enemy marked by Aurous Blaze will trigger explosions, dealing AoE pyro damage.
God damn it. She's coming out to be like a useful character. She seems like she's going to be a useful character. You know, at one point, I think I said that she was just Amber's replacement. Nah, I mean, it seems like she's much, much fucking cooler than that. Seems like she's much better than that.
If the enemy affected by Aurous Blaze is defeated before it expires, the
It
effect
transfers?
will pass on to another nearby enemy who will inherit the remaining duration. Aurous Blaze explosions are subject to a short cooldown. After unlocking the talent Summer Night's Dawn, for a short duration after casting Yoimiya's elemental burst, nearby party members other than Yoimiya herself gain an attack bonus. This bonus is based on the number of Tricks of the Troublemaker stacks Yoimiya possesses when she
Is she a
unleashes her
5-star
elemental
character?
burst. Armed with a pyro vision, Yoimiya has more than one way of playing with fire. This power takes her skills with the bow to another level, turning even her arrows into fireworks that send sparks flying all over the battlefield. In battle, Yoimiya begins by using her elemental skill to enter the Niwabi Ensho state. Then she engages the enemy with enhanced normal attacks, using Tricks of the Troublemaker to stack up a pyro damage bonus. When Niwabi Ensho ends, if her energy is full, she unleashes her elemental burst to further pressure the enemy, then leaves the field, supporting the rest of her team with an attack bonus and pyro damage, watching the enemy disappear in a dazzling display of light and smoke.
I mean,
As
fuck,
the
man.
explosions in the sky fade away,
Is it normal to run 2 of one element in a party? It doesn't seem efficient to me, but I see them in demonstrations a lot. Like, and I know with like Raiden, for example, or Yae Miko, she synergizes with other elemental characters more. Like it increases their damage, like electro bonus damage or fucking whatever. But to me, that seems inefficient. I don't know.
breathless spectators find their friends and leave. But Yoimiya is already busy preparing for the next display. It is a time-honored routine, unchanging night after night. And everyone in Inazuma looks forward to the splendid sight of her latest creations. After a brief moment, the dazzling flashes fade and the crowds are gone. After hundreds of years, this sight is nothing new to me. But who's to say that brief moments of splendor can't become everlasting memories? The god who pursues eternity has yet to realize that not all that endures is constant. time can keep fireworks in people's minds long after they've faded. Just as, once in a while, it can send stars fixed high above, plummeting down to the ground.
I mean, yeah, she seems pretty cool. I don't want to like her, but I do. Oh, here's one for sure that I won't like. Sayu. I have her.
Ninjas are often portrayed moving under the...
I think I broke her out simply to do like some time challenges. Yeah, I think that's the only reason I've used her for, and to race some friends.
veil of night, stealthily conducting their mission in the shadows. As such, people tend to let their imaginations regarding ninjas run wild, filching objects in a flash, vanishing without a trace, and laying poisonous traps. Such skills are necessary to be worthy of the ninja title. But in the eyes of Ninja Sayu, no matter how profound the art of ninjutsu may be, it is to be used but for a single purpose: slacking off.
Wait, she's like a legit ninja?
To this ninja who never passes on an opportunity to be lazy, the stirring of the leaves is not the opportune diversion to strike her enemy. Rather, it's a favorable time to slip away for a nice nap.
So she's a way less cooler Shikamaru.
Sayu, Shumatsuban at your disposal.
Is that about right?
But if you don't need me right now, I'm gonna grab some sleep.
What a
Sayu
drag.
is the Shumatsuban's resident ninja, and the last successor of the Yuhu art. She uses the power of Animo to swiftly move across the battlefield,
Yuhu?
and wields a claymore much heavier than herself
Yuhu art. Like the chocolate milk?
to protect her companions. As a master slacker, Sayu's most adept ninjutsu technique is the art of holding her breath. When Sayu is in the party, your characters can approach crystal flies, lizards, and other certain animals without startling them. Sayu's normal attack can combo up to 4 strikes, dealing physical damage to enemies. Holding the attack steadily consumes stamina, while Sayu spins her claymore.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna like this character. I don't care for catching lizards and stuff, and I'm sure there's uses for them or whatever, but as of right now in the game, I don't give a rat's ass about catching a lizard. Second of all, I don't like how she's like uses a club. Oh, well, I guess she could be a claymore user then, right? So maybe, okay.
Dealing physical
take
damage
it
to
back.
nearby enemies. Once Sayu stops spinning her blade, she unleashes a more powerful strike that launches smaller enemies within her range.
It also doesn't seem
Tap
very...
Sayu's
It doesn't seem ninja-like to use a fucking claymore. Or like a club, you know what I mean?
mental skill to perform a special ninjutsu technique of the Yuhu art, in which Sayu curls up and enters the Fufu wind wheel state and rolls forward for a
Fufu.
certain distance.
Is this character a joke? God, Sayu mans are gonna be fucking mad at me, but... Fufu? Yuhu?
Smashing into opponents at high speed, dealing animo damage. When the skill ends, Sayu performs a Fufu whirlwind kick, dealing AoE animo damage. Holding her elemental skill casts Yuhu art Fuin Dash, causing Sayu to roll continuously in the Fufu windwheel state, increasing Sayu's resistance to interruption while within that state. During this time, Sayu can control the direction of her roll, and can cast the skill again to end her windwheel state early. Upon ending it, she unleashes a stronger version of the Fufu whirlwind kick, dealing a single instance of AoE animo damage. The longer Sayu remains in her windwheel state, the longer the skill's cooldown will become. After holding her elemental skill and entering the windwheel state, if Sayu comes into contact with Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro,
yeah, this is cool.
elemental absorption will occur, causing her to absorb that element and deal additional elemental damage of that type. Elemental absorption may only occur once per use of this skill. With adept use of Fufu Windwheel State, Sayu can swiftly roll across the battlefield to trigger swirl reactions in tandem with other party members. In the open world, Sayu can make use of her Fufu Windwheel to quickly cover distances, aiding with exploration.
Ninjutsu!
Unleash her Elemental Burst to deal anemo damage to nearby opponents, as well as heal all nearby party members. The amount of HP restored is based on Sayu's attack. Additionally, Sayu performs another ninjutsu technique of the Yuhu art, summoning Sayu's trusty helper, Muji Muji Daruma.
Muji Muji.
At specific intervals, Muji Muji Daruma will take one of several actions based on the situation around it.
Oh, wow.
If the HP of nearby characters is relatively high, it will attack a nearby opponent, dealing anemo damage. If there are nearby characters with HP below a certain percentage, it will heal the character with the lowest HP percentage left. The amount of HP restored is based on Sayu's attack. If there are no opponents nearby, then it will focus on healing characters, even if the characters already have relatively high percentages of HP. After unlocking the talent No Work Today, when Muji Muji Daruma heals a character, it will also heal a certain percentage of HP for other nearby characters on the battlefield. And when it attacks opponents, it will have an increased AoE. Perhaps in Sayu's heart, being neither eye-catching nor of extraordinary strength, she feels that her teammates are better suited for tackling the tasks at hand. In the meanwhile, Sayu can ensure they stay fit for combat. When Sayu triggers a swirl reaction on the battlefield, she will regenerate HP for your characters in the party and all nearby allied characters. Additionally, the amount of healing will also benefit from Sayu's elemental mastery. This effect can occur only once per set time period. Though it may seem that sleepy Sayu is always slacking off, she is still quite loyal to her commitments, or to put it another way, inescapable duties. She rolls nimbly across the battlefield, providing reliable support to her teammates. In combat, Sayu relies on her Fufu Windwheel to move swiftly, quickly closing the distance on her enemies and crashing into them to trigger swirl reactions, while simultaneously providing healing for her team. When energy is full, Sayu can unleash her Elemental Burst to summon Muji Muji Daruma, whether it's to heal her teammates or to increase damage against her opponents. Muji Muji Daruma can adapt to the situation and protect Sayu's precious companions. Striving for the dreams of your youthhood is an admirable thing indeed. Only by improving yourself can you face the vicissitudes of life. And when it comes to improving yourself, whether it's sharpening your combat skills or simply trying to grow taller, to the young, anything worth striving for is a truly valuable endeavor. Now that I think about it, I too was probably once that way. Naive, persistent, and untiring. I'm only joking, of course. I've long forgotten the happenings of hundreds of years ago.
He's forgotten, huh? Okay, so... Yeah, I don't, I'm sorry, Sayu means. I don't really like the character. I'm sure she's useful. She's probably can be a decent support. Occasional heals and the spinny wheel thing. But other than that, I'm not seeing it. Sorry. Not really that sorry. Okay, Raiden Shogun. Let's go. Raiden Shogun.
The Raiden Shogun is not only an archon, but also a symbol. She is their superior leader who embodies eternal thunder and radiance. Her Excellency, the almighty Narukami Ogosho, 1,000-year-old protector of Inazuma. Little do they know.
I didn't just play with my mustache. Fuck. Nat, don't do it. I think that was the first time I did it. This video? Maybe not. I don't know.
Know that the current ruler of Inazuma, the Raiden Shogun, residing high up in Tenshukaku, is no longer the same Archon who emerged victorious from the Archon War.
The campaign begins.
The Raiden Shogun
Did she just sound British? The campaign begins. Do you hear that? Hold on.
victorious from the Archon War.
The campaign begins.
Oi!
The Raiden Shogun is a martial artist in pursuit of perfection, with a sole goal of achieving eternity. No matter who stands in her way to eternal euthymia, they have no chance against the divine punishment that shines down with her bidding.
God damn.
It was the Raiden Shogun who
Why did they make her breasts move so much right there? Not with that waistband right under him, they wouldn't move like that.
originated the Inazuman art of sword and polearm, as well as a variety of blade forging techniques. When ascending swords and polearms, the amount of mora spent by the Raiden Shogun will be decreased.
Nice, that's pretty
The
cool.
Raiden Shogun's normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes with her
By the way, I did just trial her, and she is a fucking monster, dude. Of course, I'm sure in the trial, they're like really maxed out, or like they're, you know, max level or something, so maybe it felt better, but it was fucking beastly.
her polearm, dealing physical damage. Holding the attack button consumes a set amount of stamina to perform an upward slash, dealing physical damage.
That's not that cool. It doesn't knock him up into the air or anything.
Detached from the mortal world, perhaps the Raiden Shogun still remembers her role as an Archon. She accrues the aspirations of all living creatures for her chakra desiderata. When party members other than her use their elemental bursts, the Raiden Shogun will build up resolve stacks for chakra desiderata based on the energy cost of the bursts used.
What?
Use up all the resolve accrued to empower her next elemental burst.
What?
The resolve accrued by chakra desiderata will dissipate once the Shogun is out of combat for a set time. The exalted Archon devoted to eternity. What caused her to stop in her tracks and listen to the wishes of her people? After unlocking the talent Wishes Unnumbered, the elemental orbs and particles collected by nearby party members will grant additional resolve for chakra desiderata once per set time period.
Because of that alone, it seems like she is the helm of any team that she's in, right? It almost makes the whole party revolve around her, building those stacks. That's what that seems like to me.
Upon tapping her elemental skill, the Raiden Shogun unveils a shard of her euthymia, dealing electro damage to nearby opponents, and granting nearby party members the Eye of Stormy Judgment. When characters carrying it attack and deal damage to opponents, the Eye of Stormy Judgment will unleash a coordinated attack, dealing AoE electro damage. The characters who gained the Eye of Stormy Judgment will have their elemental burst damage increased, based on the energy cost of the elemental bursts unleashed.
Okay.
Thanks to the Eye of Stormy Judgment, the Raiden Shogun can aid her teammates without being on the battlefield, boosting their offensive capabilities.
Now you shall perish!
Gathering truths unnumbered
She didn't sound British that time.
and the resolve of wishes uncounted, the Raiden Shogun unleashes the Musou no Hitotachi, dealing AoE electro damage,
It's so cool.
using Musou Ishin in combat for a certain duration afterward. The damage dealt by Musou no Hitotachi and Musou Ishin's attacks is based on the number of Chakra Desiderata's resolve stacks consumed when this skill is used. While using Musou Ishin in combat, the Shogun's normal, charged, and plunging attacks will be regarded as elemental burst damage, and will be infused with electro damage which cannot be overridden. When such attacks hit opponents, she will regenerate energy for all nearby party members. While in this state, The Raiden Shogun's resistance to interruption is increased, and she is immune to electrocharge damage. After unlocking the talent Enlightened One, if the Shogun's energy recharge surpasses a certain value, the surplus energy recharge grants her a percentage-based electro damage bonus, and more energy restoration while in Muso Ishi. The Raiden Shogun can accelerate the elemental burst rotation of her party while making the elemental bursts of her teammates more powerful. Such a seasoned leader like her remains fearless in the face of any encounter. In combat, the Raiden Shogun can use the Eye of Stormy Judgment to help teammates in difficult fights. When her teammates unleash elemental bursts or collect elemental orbs or particles, the Shogun gains more resolve for Chakra Desiderata. Wait for an opportune moment to unleash Musou no Hitotachi to deal lethal damage to your enemies. And enter Muso Ishin to clean up the battlefield while regenerating energy for the whole party. To enable a round of elemental bursts that will strike foes down as fast as lightning.
I mean, fuck.
Neighboring the Dark Sea, Inazuma has witnessed many a war. For the pursuit of eternity and the prosperity of Inazuma, the Raiden Shogun stuck stubbornly to her path. But what let some bloom made others wither. There is no gain without the pain of loss. When facing their fears, Archons and mortals are all the same. Yet Archons are born arrogant. By attempting to grasp the heavenly principles, she brought a disaster upon mortals. Perhaps some may say that I'm overstating what happened, but I'm just speaking from experience after all.
What are you telling me, Dainsleif? Okay, I think that's gonna be it for this video, but holy shit. Raiden seems like she's like a must-have, almost. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you don't need her in a party, but it seems like if you have her and you're not using her for whatever fucking reason, you're fucking up. You know what I mean? Like, just the way, what she's capable of doing with your whole party's elemental bursts and things is fucking crazy. Just crazy. Damn. All right. Join our Discord. Link in the description down below. Smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you can be notified when I go live on Friday at 3 p.m. PST. I hope to see you guys there. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one.